After 60, your skin begins speaking a different language. It thins, it dries, it bruises more easily, and sometimes it suddenly looks older than you feel inside. What surprises many seniors in their late 60s and 70s is not just the presence of wrinkles or age spots, but how quickly the skin seems to deteriorate, almost like it's aging faster than the rest of the body. The truth? It's not just time, it's habits. Across America, many seniors unknowingly repeat simple daily mistakes that accelerate skin aging, mistakes that could have been avoided with a bit of insight and adjustment. No, we're not talking about the latest anti-aging cream or a 12-step skincare routine. We're talking about small shifts in environment, lifestyle, and mindset that can either protect your skin's vitality or silently erode it. In this video, we'll uncover 4 of the most common mistakes people over 60 make when it comes to skin health. These mistakes don't just make you look older, they can affect how your skin feels, heals, and even protects your body. And the good news? Each one of them can be reversed or avoided, starting today. If you believe that aging should come with wisdom, not regret, then stay with me. Because this is about more than just skin. It's about dignity, confidence, and honoring the body that carries your elderly reflections. And if you find value in stories of longevity, senior health, and life lessons from the elderly, subscribe to Elderly Reflections for more inspiration and motivation. One of the most dangerous illusions people over 60 carry is this: I don't go out much anymore, so the sun can't hurt me. It sounds reasonable, doesn't it? After all, by the time you reach retirement, you're not sunbathing at the beach every weekend or walking outside for hours. But here's what most seniors don't know: your skin doesn't need a beach day to suffer sun damage. All it needs is a few unprotected minutes of daylight every day. Across senior communities in America, Canada, and Northern Europe, dermatologists have been warning about a new, subtle phenomenon: passive photo damage. This is the long-term effect of chronic, low-grade UV exposure, happening in small, unnoticed ways while reading by the window, watering plants, or driving to church. UVA rays, the type responsible for deep wrinkles and collagen breakdown, can penetrate clouds, glass, and even certain fabrics. That means your skin is under attack while you're sitting in your favorite armchair, basking in morning light. You don't feel the burn, but your cells feel the damage. Dr. Doris Day, a clinical associate professor of dermatology at NYU Langone Health, shares that seniors often come in with one-sided aging on the face, usually the driver's side. Years of driving without SPF add up, she says. People think if they're not sunburned, they're safe. But UVA doesn't burn, it silently ages. And this isn't just theory, it's visible, even haunting. One famous case in dermatology was a 69-year-old truck driver whose left side, the one exposed to the window, looked nearly 2 decades older than his right. Deep creases, leathery skin, severe sagging. His other side, protected from direct light, looked almost youthful in comparison. That's not coincidence, it's cellular wear and tear caused by accumulative UVA exposure. Now, imagine that effect playing out on a more delicate canvas, senior skin. After 60, your skin naturally becomes thinner, loses elasticity, and produces fewer natural oils. Its ability to regenerate and heal declines. So when UV rays hit, the damage is more intense and the recovery is much slower. This accelerates not just wrinkles and dark spots, but loss of firmness, weakened capillaries, and slower wound healing. That means a simple routine, stepping into light every day without protection, is quietly stripping your skin of its strength and dignity. Let me introduce you to Harold, a 72-year-old retired postal worker from Tucson, Arizona. For decades, Harold lived with structure and routine, always up early, always reading the morning paper by the sun-drenched window, and always taking pride in his independence. But around 70, he began to notice something troubling. His face looked uneven, one side with deeper creases, rougher texture, and strange darkened patches. His hands looked older than his age, with thinning skin and pronounced veins. At first, he shrugged it off. Just age, he thought. But during a checkup, his dermatologist gently asked, "Harold, do you wear sunscreen indoors?" He laughed. "Indoors? Never." That conversation changed his life. The doctor explained how UVA rays stream through untreated windows, how cumulative exposure causes the very damage he was seeing. "But I'm not outside anymore," Harold replied, to which the doctor said something he never forgot. Sunlight doesn't care where you are. If it can see you, it's aging you. From that day forward, Harold began applying sunscreen every morning, even on days he didn't plan to leave the house. Within months, the sunspots faded slightly, the tone of his skin began to even out, and more importantly, new damage was halted. He installed UV film on his living room window and now wears a wide-brimmed hat when gardening. When asked what changed his mind, he said, "It wasn't vanity. It was about dignity. I realized my skin deserves care not because I want to look young, but because I've earned the right to age well." This isn't about miracle creams or reversing decades of exposure. It's about preserving what you have left and doing it with intention. Aging is natural, but accelerated aging is preventable. Every unprotected minute you spend in daylight is a trade-off. And after 60, your skin no longer has the luxury to heal the way it once did. So what can you do? First, invest in a broad-spectrum sunscreen of SPF 30 or higher with physical blockers like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. These are gentle and effective for mature skin. Make it a habit, like brushing your teeth every morning, rain or shine, even if you're staying home. Second, reapply if you're near windows for long hours or if you sweat. If you drive often, keep a travel-sized sunscreen in your glove box. Third, consider UV protective clothing and window films for rooms you spend the most time in. And finally, educate your circle. Many seniors, especially men, dismiss sun protection as unnecessary. But the science is clear. Daily SPF is the single most powerful, accessible way to protect the skin after 60. In the Elderly Reflections community, we believe aging should come with pride, not with regret. We share these insights not to criticize your habits, but to honor your years by protecting your future. Your skin tells your life story, but you get to choose how that story is written in the years to come. Sun damage is silent, but your response doesn't have to be. Stay ahead of it, stay informed, and give your skin the same care you've given to everyone else all your life. There's something deeply ingrained in many of us, especially those who grew up in the post-war generations in Europe and America, that says, the cleaner, the better. We were taught to wash thoroughly, to scrub hard, and to use soap that made skin feel tight, squeaky, and fresh. But what many seniors don't realize is that this belief, this very habit, is now one of the reasons their skin is aging faster. After 60, your skin undergoes profound changes. It produces less sebum, the natural oil that protects and nourishes the surface. It also becomes thinner, meaning the top barrier that once shielded you from environmental irritants now tears more easily and heals more slowly. When you continue to use the same soaps and cleansing routines you followed in your 30s or 40s, especially harsh bar soaps, antibacterial gels, or foaming face washes, you're doing more than just cleaning. You're dismantling the last line of defense your skin has. Let's look at a real-world case. Margaret, 71, from Wisconsin. A retired school teacher, she'd always taken pride in her fresh skin, washing her face morning and night with a drugstore brand soap she'd used since college. "It always made my skin feel clean," she said. But in recent years, that same soap left her skin feeling tight, itchy, and red. She started applying more moisturizer twice, even 3 times a day, but it didn't help. A visit to a dermatologist revealed the truth. Her daily washing routine was stripping her skin barrier, leaving it inflamed and dehydrated. The moisturizer couldn't work because the protective oils weren't there to hold the moisture in. This is a surprisingly common pattern among seniors. The idea that we need to feel squeaky clean to be healthy is not only outdated, it's damaging. In truth, Skin that feels tight after cleansing is skin that's been overstripped. It's lost its natural oils, its water balance is disturbed, and its protective barrier is compromised. That sets the stage for chronic dryness, flaking, redness, and an aged appearance. Dr. Ava Shamban, a Beverly Hills-based dermatologist who works with aging skin, puts it clearly: every wash with the wrong cleanser at this age is like taking sandpaper to your skin. It won't show overnight, but years of damage accumulate. And the worst part? These effects aren't just cosmetic. When the skin barrier is weakened, you become more susceptible to infections, allergic reactions, and irritants. Small rashes last longer. Scratches take more time to heal. It becomes a domino effect, starting with soap. The solution? Gentle, respectful cleansing. Seniors should switch to non-foaming, sulfate-free cleansers, ideally fragrance-free, with soothing ingredients like ceramides, glycerin, or oat extract. Washing once a day, preferably at night, is enough for most. In the morning, a rinse with lukewarm water is often all your skin needs. Avoid hot water, which strips oils faster, and never rub your face dry. Instead, gently pat dry and apply moisturizer within 60 seconds to seal in water. Cleansing after 60 is no longer about removing oil, it's about preserving balance. You're not fighting acne anymore. You're protecting a fragile, irreplaceable shield. And once you make peace with that, your skin starts to return the favor, becoming calmer, softer, and noticeably more resilient. In the world of senior skincare, the biggest mistake isn't forgetting a cream. It's forgetting water. As we age, the signs of dehydration don't show up as thirst. They show up on your skin: dullness, creepiness, fine lines that settle deeper every year, flakiness that no amount of lotion seems to fix. These are the skin's whispers of thirst, and far too many people over 60 aren't listening. The human body is made up of 60% water, but as we grow older, that number shrinks. Your body loses its ability to retain moisture, and more importantly, your thirst response weakens. Seniors often report not feeling thirsty even when their bodies are dehydrated. Medications, especially diuretics and blood pressure drugs, increase water loss, and conditions like diabetes or heart disease can exacerbate the problem. Yet despite these facts, most seniors don't drink enough. A study by the University of California, San Francisco found that nearly 40% of elderly adults are chronically dehydrated, and they don't even know it. They often rely solely on moisturizers to address dry skin, thinking it's an external problem. But here's the truth. If your body is dry inside, no cream can fully restore your skin. Moisturizers seal in water, but if the water isn't there to begin with, they're sealing in emptiness. Consider Frank, 76, a retired mechanic in Yorkshire, UK. He noticed his skin becoming thin, flaky, and fragile. His doctor prescribed a steroid cream. His wife bought him an expensive French moisturizer, but nothing worked. It wasn't until a young nurse asked him, "How much water do you drink each day?" that things changed. His answer? Maybe 2 glasses with meals. The nurse gently explained that his skin, and likely his kidneys, were under unnecessary stress. Over the next month, Frank committed to drinking at least 1.5 liters of fluid per day. He added herbal teas, watery fruits like watermelon and grapes, and started each morning with a glass of warm lemon water. Within weeks, his skin softened. The flaking stopped. His hands, which used to crack and bleed in winter, stayed smooth. "I didn't know I was drying out from the inside," he later said. "Now I can feel the difference." And the science backs him up. Proper hydration doesn't just benefit the skin, it boosts circulation, detoxification, joint health, energy levels, and even memory. But for skin in particular, internal water is what allows cells to stay plump, collagen to maintain structure, and wounds to heal efficiently. So what can you do? First, don't wait until you're thirsty. Build hydration into your daily rhythm. Sip water throughout the day, not all at once. Herbal teas, Diluted fruit juices and soups all count. Avoid caffeinated drinks that dehydrate. Eat more hydrating foods: cucumbers, oranges, tomatoes, melons. Second, pair internal hydration with external care. After you shower or wash your face, apply moisturizer while the skin is still damp. Choose creams with hyaluronic acid, shea butter, or ceramides. These help draw water into the skin and lock it in place. Remember, moisturizer is a bandage. Water is the medicine. You need both. But without the medicine, the bandage is just a cover. In the Elderly Reflections community, we believe in listening to the quiet wisdom of the body. And skin, like memory, like bones, like the heart, has its own language. When it dries, tightens, flakes, or loses luster, it's not just aging. It's a request for care, for nourishment, for the kind of attention that says, you still matter. Your skin still matters. You deserve to feel good inside it. There's a silent belief that creeps into the hearts of many people after 60. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't shout or argue. It simply whispers, "It's too late now." And slowly, we begin to believe it, not just about dreams or goals, but about our bodies, especially our skin. We look in the mirror and see a version of ourselves we don't recognize. Deeper wrinkles, sagging jawlines, tired eyes, and that grayish dullness that wasn't there a few years ago. And in that moment, something inside us sighs. We say, "I've aged. What can I do now?" And we stop trying. But this quiet surrender is one of the most dangerous mistakes seniors make. Because when you stop believing in your ability to heal, your skin stops trying too. It becomes more fragile, more reactive, more tired. Not just because of age, but because it's been abandoned. And that abandonment doesn't come from the environment or genetics or the passing years. It comes from the inside, from belief. The truth is, your skin is not dead. It's a living organ. Even after 60, even after 70, even into your 80s and 90s, your skin is constantly renewing itself every 28 to 40 days, depending on your age and health. Every day, new cells push up from the lower layers to replace the old ones. Collagen still forms, albeit more slowly. Elastic fibers still respond to care. Hydration levels still influence texture. Your skin is like a garden. It may grow slower now, but if you water it, protect it, and give it attention, it will bloom again. And this isn't a metaphor, it's biological fact. Dermatologists across the US, Canada, and Europe are seeing more seniors reverse years of neglect simply by making small, consistent changes. Not because they want to look younger, but because they want to feel whole again. Take the story of Helen, 79, from Vancouver. She spent decades caring for her children and husband, rarely for herself. After her husband passed away, she found herself lonely, disconnected, and numb to her appearance. What does it matter, she'd say? No one looks at me anymore. Her skin had become paper thin, saggy, covered in age spots. But one afternoon, while watching a documentary on senior health, she heard a line that changed everything. When you start taking care of your body again, you start remembering that you're still here. Something stirred in her. She didn't rush to a beauty salon or buy expensive creams. She simply began small. She started applying moisturizer every night, just to touch her face with gentleness again. She bought a sun hat. She drank more water. She switched her soap to a creamy, non-stripping cleanser. And slowly, her skin responded. Not with miracles, but with softness, with fewer cracks, with a slight glow that hadn't been there for years. And something else changed too: her posture, her mood, her willingness to go outside again. It wasn't vanity, she told her granddaughter. It was permission to feel like a woman again. Stories like Helen's aren't rare. Across communities, from Florida to Finland, dermatologists report similar patterns. When seniors start treating their skin with respect, that care ripples inward. Their confidence improves. Their loneliness eases. They participate more in social life. Because skincare, at its core, isn't about looking young, it's about not giving up on yourself. So how can you start, especially if you've neglected your skin for years? First, change your narrative. Aging doesn't mean decay, it means transformation. The lines on your face are not shameful. They are the brushstrokes of a life deeply lived. But that doesn't mean you stop caring. Quite the opposite. It means your skin has earned the right to be cared for deeply. Second, return to basics. Cleanse gently at night, no more harsh soaps or scrubbing. Use a creamy, fragrance-free cleanser. After rinsing with lukewarm water, don't dry completely, leave the skin slightly damp, and immediately apply a rich moisturizer. Look for ingredients like ceramides, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, and squalane. These ingredients don't promise youth. They promise comfort. They support the skin barrier, reduce inflammation, and restore texture. Third, apply sunscreen every morning, even if you're staying indoors. Remember, UVA rays age the skin quietly. Use an SPF 30 broad-spectrum sunscreen with physical filters like zinc oxide, especially if your skin is sensitive. Fourth, nourish from the inside out. Drink water, not just when you're thirsty, but consistently throughout the day. Eat fruits rich in antioxidants, blueberries, oranges, avocados, tomatoes. These don't just help your heart, they feed your skin cells. And finally, make this a ritual, not a routine. Light a candle, play music, touch your skin with intention. Let each motion be a reminder that you're still here and you still matter. Aging is not a decline, it is a transition. And your skin, like your soul, deserves to be met with compassion through every stage. There is no shame in self-care at 60, 70, or 90. In fact, there is quiet dignity in it. At Elderly Reflections, we share stories not just of survival, but of renewal. And the skin, in many ways, is our most honest narrator. It carries our memories, our illnesses, our laughter, our losses. And when we stop seeing it as a failure of age and start seeing it as the reflection of all we've lived through, everything changes. You don't need perfect skin to be beautiful. You just need skin that's loved. So start tonight, not because the mirror demands it, but because your story is still unfolding. And the skin you're in deserves to walk with you to the final chapters, strong, soothed, and seen. Aging is not a failure. It is not something to fight or fear. It is a season quiet, slow, and filled with its own kind of grace. And your skin, though it may no longer be smooth or firm, is still yours. It carries your laughter, your resilience, your quiet strength. It deserves kindness, not abandonment. If you've seen parts of yourself in this video, if you've been skipping sunscreen, using harsh soaps, ignoring hydration, or telling yourself it's too late, know this. Change begins not with perfect products, but with a shift in how you value yourself. The moment you stop treating skincare as vanity and start seeing it as self-respect, your skin and your spirit will begin to respond. So be gentle, be consistent, be proud of the years you've lived, but never stop caring for the vessel that carried you here. If this message touched you, please like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Elderly Reflections for more stories, quotes, senior health guidance, and inspiration drawn from real elderly wisdom. Let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? We'd love to hear your reflections, your journey, and what aging means to you. Because here, we honor not just long life, but full life. And your skin is still very much a part of that story.